Il doit être agréable de vivre dedans. Et c'est trop, ce bruit. Oh mon Dieu, cher. Cher, protège-moi. Mes marabouts, protégez-moi.
Osman Sembène, often regarded as the father of African cinema, was not merely a filmmaker but a storyteller whose works transcend the boundaries of cinema and engage deeply with the socio-political landscape of colonial and post-colonial Africa, particularly Senegal. His films have been instrumental in shaping African cinematic discourse and offer a scathing critique of colonialism, European cultural hegemony, and the complexities of post-independence life in Senegal. Through his work, Sembène crafted films that were not only artistic expressions but also vehicles for social change, providing a platform for the disenfranchised voices in African society. Sembène's early life, growing up in French-occupied Senegal, provided him with a unique perspective on colonialism and its long-lasting effects on the psyche of African nations. Like many intellectuals of his time, Sembène saw cinema as a medium through which the colonial experience could be deconstructed and discussed. After spending time in France as a laborer and later as a student of literature, Sembène returned to Senegal, determined to use film as a means of articulating the realities of his people. He believed that the film industry, which at the time was largely controlled by Western influences, was not telling the stories of Africans in an authentic or empowering way. Thus, Sembène turned to filmmaking as a way to subvert the dominant narratives of colonialism and assert an African perspective. Sembène's first film Borom is a landmark in African cinema. This short film is set in Dakar, Senegal, and tells the story of a cart driver navigating the challenges of daily life in a post-colonial society.
Je me demande quand elle va me régler. Pour elle aussi, les choses ne sont pas bien.
Through its simple yet powerful narrative, Borom captures the socio-economic inequalities and systemic discrimination that define the lives of ordinary people in post-independence Africa. The film follows the cart driver as he travels through different parts of the city, from the impoverished outskirts to the affluent urban center. This journey serves as a metaphor for the broader social divides that persist in African societies, where the legacy of colonialism continues to shape economic and social structures. Finally, his cart has been seized for unauthorized entrance to the colonial area, where the French are living.
As-tu une autorisation de venir ici? C'est défendu ce quartier où Borom s'arrête. Dépêche! Et vite!
He had to return home without his cart.
Non seulement l'autre, ce voyou est parti sans me payer, je suis sans charrette. Payer une amende avec quoi? Qu'est-ce que je veux devenir maintenant?
The cartman is not just a character in a Sembène film. He is a representative of Senegal and Africa. His story of being deceived is the story of every African who was colonized by the West for centuries. Sembène's film Black Girl is often considered his breakthrough work and marks a pivotal moment in African cinema. The film centers on a young Senegalese woman Diwana, who moves to France to work as a maid for a French family, only to face the brutal realities of racism and exploitation.
Apporte un plat de riz et du vin.
Ah, vous permettez, mademoiselle?
Je n'ai jamais embrassé une négresse.
J'ai l'impression qu'elle n'est pas contente.
Diana's tragic fate unfolds as she is subjected to isolation, servitude, and ultimately a profound existential crisis.
C'est à moi! Veux-tu lâcher? C'est à moi! Veux-tu lâcher? Mais lâche ce masque! Lâche ce masque, je te dis! J'étais pas venu en France pour le tablier et l'argent.
Black Girl is not only a personal story of Diana's alienation, but also an indictment of the colonial mentality that persists even after independence.
Diana, sors!
Sembène uses Diana's plight to critique the continued dominance of European culture and the pervasive sense of inferiority that many Africans felt in the face of European civilization. The film's stark visuals combined with the emotional gravity of Diana's story make it a powerful statement on the post-colonial condition. Through Diana's character, Sembène highlights the deep psychological scars left by colonialism and the ways in which the colonial system perpetuated African subjugation through both overt and subtle forms of discrimination. Another key theme in Sembène's work is the tension between traditional African culture and the pervasive influence of European values. His film Xala tells the story of El Hadji, a wealthy businessman who, after achieving material success in post-independence Senegal, finds himself cursed with impotence. This curse serves as a metaphor for the failure of the new Senegalese elite to embody the values of independence, unity, and self-determination that were at the heart of the anti-colonial struggle.
Et là, je se crois au temps colonial. C'est nous qui gouvernons ce pays et qui collaborent avec nous, grande gueule.
El Hadji's obsession with Western-style success and his disdain for traditional African values ultimately leads to his downfall. Sembène's critique of the post-colonial elite is clear. The desire for European-style affluence and respectability has led to the erosion of African cultural integrity. Through Xala, Sembène explores the theme of cultural betrayal as the new political class attempts to embrace European modernity at the expense of their own heritage. Mandabi follows Ibrahim, a poor man living in Dakar, who receives a money order from his nephew working in France.
Sa carte d'identité. Sa carte d'identité.
His struggle to cash the money order exposes the inefficiency and corruption within the bureaucratic systems of post-colonial Senegal. Through Ibrahim's ordeal, Sembène critiques the disorganization and exploitation of the Senegalese people by a system that is imposed by the French colonialists.
Amna ben fan poste ba, amna ben fan mairie ba, ben fan sama kër jarbaat, ben fan banque ba.
Sembène's work remains an essential part of the global cinematic canon, not only for its artistic value but also for its profound commentary on the social and political realities of post-colonial Africa. His films confront the legacy of colonialism head-on, addressing the cultural, psychological, and economic repercussions of European domination and the challenges faced by African societies in the aftermath of independence. Through his rebellious characters, particularly strong female figures, Sembène advocates for cultural resistance and transformation.
Prenez, c'est pour vous. Prenez.
Through his work, Sembène not only transformed African cinema but also challenged the world to see Africa and its people in a new light. His films remain a powerful reminder of the enduring power of storytelling to illuminate, inspire, and transform.